So we have two versions, a horizontal version and a vertical version. What's the difference between them? Say again, Justice? Yeah, where the a squared and the b squared are, okay? Well, how would we recognize that looking at these two denominators? A is larger than b, right? So we have to look at the diagram of an ellipse, right? The standard diagram looks something like this. Okay. An ellipse is longer in one direction than the other. Okay. If it's longer in the horizontal, then if you draw a horizontal line going right through the middle of it, that is called the major axis. And the foci are along the major axis. In between the foci is the center. That's what has the HK. And where the major axis intersects with the ellipse, those are called vertices, right? That's a vertex, and that's a vertex. And if you draw a perpendicular line through the center, then that's the minor axis. So these three letters, A, B, and C, the A is the distance from the center to the vertex, right? The B is the direction from the center to the side of the ellipse along the minor axis. And C is the distance from the center to the focus. So looking at that picture, A is the biggest of the three, right? A is half of the major axis, so it has to be more than half of the minor axis, so A is bigger than B. And since the foci are inside the ellipse, then the distance to the foci has got to be less than the distance to the vertex. So A is bigger than B, A is bigger than C. We have a Pythagorean theorem looking kind of an equation that relates the three. And because A is the biggest, it's on one side by itself, right? Somehow we got to keep that straight because we use that all the time. Okay, so let's see. This equation, would you say that it's longer horizontally or vertically? Vertical because the 9 is underneath the y, right? So we would say this is the a squared, so a equals 3. And this is the b squared, so b equals 2. What is the center? -3, +4. So if I sketch it, -3, -3, +4 is about right there. So we should go from there up and down 3, right? So up 3 is here, down 3 is here. We should go left 2 and right 2. Is that right? Here. And then that gives me the ellipse. I should label the things that I know here. This vertex is -3, +7. Right. This one is -3, 1. The center is -3, 4. And now we've got to place the foci. How can we tell where the foci are? What's that? Okay, we need to know C. Okay, but if we don't know C, how do we find C? We use this equation right here, right? So a squared is 9 and b squared is 4. So plug in for the a squared and b squared. Solve for c squared. And c squared is 5, which means c is the square root of 5. So we would know that along the major axis, which is vertical, we would go up the square root of 5 and down the square root of 5 to find the foci. If you wanted to place them accurately or semi-accurately, turn it into a decimal, a little bit more than 2, right? So, yeah, something like that. So about right there, there's 1, and about right there, there's the other. And the coordinates are -3, and it was 4 for the center, so 4 plus or minus the square root of 5.